just seen Pompawi Chochuang beat Kirsty Gilmore in straight games, and now it's time for the first women's doubles matchup between Jongkolban Kititharakul, Ravinda Prajongjai, and Julie Macpherson, Kira Torrance. That's what's coming up on court 2 in a short while. It's an interesting one because Thailand are 1-0 up. So Scotland have to try and get back into this tie as quickly as possible and make it as even as possible. Joining me in the commentary hot seat is Australian national Grania Somerville, and we've just witnessed a fantastic performance from Team Thailand in Pompawi Chochuang, which will certainly give them a big boost.
Yeah, for sure. She was super composed, held her nerve throughout, and played some beautiful badminton, setting Thailand up for that 1-love lead going into the second rubber.
Thailand, of course, were in Finland for the Sudirman Cup, now in Denmark, and they plan to play on for the other tournaments on the HSBC BWF World Tour. But coming from Thailand into Europe and playing these tournaments is a completely different environment.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, Thailand's super humid, hot, has that time difference, so it is a big adjustment, and it's helpful that some of the girls, had that opportunity in Finland to acclimatise, to get used to the jet lag, and yeah, I mean, it is tough being away from home, the changes in food, not having all the niceties, I guess, that you're used to, but I'm sure players at this point are just happy to be able to travel and compete again and, have that bit of experience getting out in new tournaments and seeing different cities.
Well, I did spot bubble tea in Copenhagen, so I'm assuming that Aarhus might have some to keep them happy.
Yes, a lot of the Asian players love their bubble tea.
Well, we've just seen the officials come on court, and the players are about to walk on. We talk about the women's doubles matchup coming on, the first of the women's doubles between Jongkolban Kititharakul, Ravinda Prajongjai, and Julie Macpherson, Kira Torrance. There we have the Thai world number 8s, who have certainly made their mark on the women doubles scene, and they will be looking to continue to prop Thailand up the rankings, and of course here on the court itself give them a 2-0 lead. They were part of the 2018 run that Thailand had, that brilliant 2018 Uber Cup run that saw them reach the finals, and these two were part of that. Julie Macpherson, Kira Torrance on the other hand, making their debuts at the Uber Cup, so it's a contrast of all sorts for these ladies.
Yeah, so Scotland again coming with a young team up against the experienced pair from Thailand, so it'll be a great opportunity for them to play this world-class pair and see how they measure up.
The players are walking onto court and preparing for the coin toss. It's early in the morning. I've not had enough coffee maybe, but yes, coin toss. So this is the first meeting between the two, as expected, and they will be certainly looking to make some kind of impression against the world number 8s, the Scottish young pair.
Will you receive? Will you serving? From the corner serve? Which end? Okay.
So the toss of the coin done there by the umpire, Kevin Barnum. And the players will warm up shortly. Ravinda Prajongjai and Jongkolban Kititharakul. And they did play in the Sudirman Cup in Finland just a couple of weeks back, where they beat India's Ashwini Ponnappa and Sikki Reddy in 2 games, and then they lost, unfortunately, to Chen Qingchen and Jia Yifan in 2 as well. That was at the group stages, so they didn't have the outing they would have wanted in Finland. But they've certainly had their fair share of exciting matches, and coming on top of those exciting matches, they will use that in this one as well. There we go, Ravinda Prajongjai. She's 28 years old, 164 centimeters tall, ranked 8th in the world. The highest they've been is, of course, 6. They're born in Bangkok, Thailand. far, far away from home at the moment. But I'm sure she's happy to be here. Scotland, represented by Julie Macpherson. She's 23 years old, ranked 49th in the world with her partner, Kira Torrance. Born in Edinburgh, Scotland. It's a lovely city. And she's 163 centimeters tall. Her partner there, Kira Torrance. She's 22, just a year younger. Born in Irvine, Scotland, 165 centimeters tall. And these two have been partners, but they haven't really played on the international tour so much. They got to the semi-finals of the Spain Masters this year, which was a good performance. And they'll be looking to better that in terms of climbing up the ranks and doing well on the international tour. There's the service judge, Cornelia Schroeder. As I mentioned, the umpire is Kevin Bahn from USA and Cornelia Schroeder from Germany. The women's doubles game, very different from what we just witnessed. A lot faster in that sense, but also known for the long rallies.
Definitely. The women's doubles has the record for the longest match, I think 2 hours and a half, something crazy like that, between Japan and Indonesia. I can't even comprehend playing a match for that long.
But you, I mean, obviously, you know, you've been part of this tournament before, and you play women's doubles. What is the dynamic like with your partner when you are on court getting ready to play? What do you tell each other in terms of communication, in terms of trying to get off on the right foot?
Yeah, so I think before going on court, you kind of review those key points from whatever analysis you've done about your opponents. So, you know, whether that's we need to really focus on the first 3 shots, or we need to make sure we are trying to attack to the middle to open up for the front court person to come and intercept, or if you need to be careful of certain things from your opponent, that kind of thing, just reviewing, you know, a few key points, and then just making sure you're both warm and feeling good and that you're both gelling and encouraging each other.
Do you talk to your partner a lot when you're on court?
Yeah, I like to. I think it's good to kind of review points or key points. You know, if something went wrong or something worked, to kind of just say, oh, you know, next time you need to do this, so that if it does happen again, you have kind of a clear agreement on how to handle the situation. I think, yeah, it's not as beneficial, those kind of pairs where they don't talk to each other. They might do just a little hand tap or something, but I think players are starting to understand that communication between pairs is so much beneficial. Even like the hand signals with serving has only more recently been widespread through all kind of competitors, really, whereas before people would just serve and not tell their partner where they were going.
That's gone out, well out. The first point goes to Scotland.
Nice rally, kicking it off there.
Just the air on the net from Torrance there. It's a matter of warming up as well, you know, getting ready. The first few points are always about just finding your feel on the court.
And the two Scottish girls being, you know, young, first Uber Cup, they will most likely have a bit more nerves than the experienced type pair. So just kind of getting past that initial nervousness and playing themselves into the game will be really helpful for them.
That's another net error from Scotland. 3-1 the score now in favor of the ties. Do you think that when they get on court, or before the entire tie starts, that the team leader goes through them and talks to them? How much advice would she give, as say Kirsty Gilmore give these girls, given all the experience she's had?
I wouldn't say she would give kind of one-on-one advice. It would probably just be, you know, an overall group huddle saying, like, let's give it our all, girls. this is a great opportunity, let's make the most of it kind of thing. It would be definitely the coach's role more to kind of come in with that more personalised advice on how to handle the game. But definitely I'm sure, if any player approached her or wanted that extra advice, then it's her role, and I'm sure she'd be happy to, provide it. Long rally here. Nice block from Kira.
That was an aggressive shot.
That was a great counter.
2, 3.
She set it up there with that cross block and then intercepting the next one well. She's bringing a lot of power to the court. She's quite tall, and this type are actually pretty kind of small players for the women's doubles.
52 shots, that last rally. Scotland doing well to make it now 3-all.
Jongo-fan trying to do her kind of signature stop-drop shot there. She can surprise a lot of players with that one. Didn't quite make it. And that's...
They've not been in the best of touches, Jongkopan and Rawinda. They've had a slower run into this tournament the last few years. They've had more losses than victories as such, but they've got a lot of experience and a lot of confidence in their game. Like you mentioned in the last one, the quality of sparring, the quality of being around some of the best players in the world certainly rubs off on you.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, great smash. Right down the tram lines there. Kira was not prepared to cover her line then.
Jongkopan was, of course, involved in a very exciting match at the Sudirman Cup. Though she was not partnered with Rawinda there, she was partnered with Sapsiri Kititharakul in the quarterfinals against Korea. It was Jongkopan against Jongkopan and Kititharakul against Lee So-hee and Shin Sun-chang, and that one went down to the wire. It was an absolute cracker, and unfortunately Thailand lost that on a service error, and they lost the entire tie as a result.
How disappointing. That's the most frustrating when it's a service error.
So, but I'm sure that match and playing against the likes of Lee and Shin fills you with a lot of confidence, because when you can push players who are higher ranked, players who have, who normally have a better head-to-head record than you, when you can push them to the edge like that, that just brings you up another level. And I'm sure that will show in this Thomas and Uber Cup. Right now, there's 7-4 up in that first game.
Service over. 5-7.
As we mentioned, the service error, which is frustrating. The Thai pair like to rotate themselves a lot on court. You see them mix and match the positions quite a bit.
Yeah, they're really good at playing those mid-court shots that you just saw two within that rally, which gets a good rotation happening and makes the court bigger for the opponents. They quite enjoy this kind of flat box game, the Thai pair.
Service fault. 2-9. Service over.
And a service fault there.
6-8.
The new service rule, not that new, it's been around for a few years, with having the line for the service judge to judge the height of the serve, still catches players off guard.
Do you practice with that kind of device when you're practicing back home? And you're practicing your serve, do you practice with that kind of device?
I personally don't, because I've always had kind of a low serve.
Yeah.
But I think initially we all practiced with it just to make sure and kind of get in the habit of figuring out where that height was that we needed to stay within. and since then I haven't really used it, and other players I know haven't that much. But I think if you are one of those players that are borderline pushing it, then it's good to have that around more often, just to make sure and really get comfortable in that position, knowing that it's not a fault. The blocks from the Scottish pair are good, just neutralising the rally again when the Thai pair do try and go hard.
That was good placement from Jongkopan. Really good. She knew that her opponent would have to run across the court there. And so it's 10-6 now in the first game. They're just a point away from taking a 11 mid-interval break lead. That was an aggressive shot from Scotland.
Just catching the tape there. And there's that mid-court shot that Jongkopan loves to play, but a bit too high there.
And it got smashed down. And that is out. So 11-7 is the lead for Thailand. Kititharakul and Prajongjai with a 4-point cushion at the mid-game interval. They'll be happy with their performance so far in this match against Scotland. They'll be looking to get stronger as the match progresses, but overall it's been a pretty solid display from the Thais. Players back on court for the restart of the first game. 11-7 Thailand lead as they serve.
Oh, unlucky there. So much power coming from Kira there. Definitely putting the pressure on the Thai pair. That's kind of the thing as well that is lacking a little bit from the Thai pair, because they're quite small players. It is hard for them to have that power that really penetrates the other top 10 players' defence. So they have to be really good at this flat game and their defence to try and get through these other opponents.
You also see that with the Japanese players a lot, where, you know, it's not a power game, but it's more of defensive and just, you know, playing the game long.
Yeah, Jongkopan doing beautifully to take the pace out of the shuttle there. Playing it so tight that Kira had no chance even with that dive. I appreciate the commitment to the dive though.
It's a great action shot.
Get them to cut that up for the highlight reel. Nice movement from Kira, quickly forward there, giving them no time to cover her cross. Good catch, but not what you want to do on a badminton court. Maybe in a cricket
Wrong
game or
sport.
something. Yeah. She tried to go for the sneaky kind of drive serve, but especially against smaller pairs, sometimes it doesn't work that well because it kind of feeds right into their racket when they're a bit smaller, have that height difference.
Oh, well played. Really nicely done. Well placed on the line. 15-8 now. It's getting into the serious end of the game. It's always tricky when they both go for it, because then you've got to find your ground very quickly and try and anticipate the next shot.
Yeah, especially when you get a half-court lift out of it like that one.
And do you think that's down to miscommunication maybe when they both go for the same shot, or is it just to make sure they get the shot?
I think sometimes it's just the situation is a bit ambiguous, so yeah, players just aren't sure whose shot it is. Yeah, it happens to the best still, so it's just how it is sometimes. Jungle fan looking a little bit confused there with how she didn't get that one back.
It's just redoing her footwork there.
Yeah.
So a couple of errors from both sides, but it's still a comfortable lead for Thailand at the moment at 17-10. You just need to keep their nerves a little bit. And then a power shot like that is definitely hard to return. So Scotland doing well there.
Seems like Scotland's signature thing could be these last-minute catch-ups. Kirsty Gilmore in the match before just did it well in her first game, as we saw.
And
nice.
that
was nice placement on the smash there by Rawinda. Just going slightly across her body. You can see that Kira was ready to wait forehand, and it just came to her backhand, didn't have much time to change her grip, which led her to hitting it wide.
it's a good exchange. Good rally, but unfortunately right at the end there she lost control of the shuttle, so it's 19-11 now for Thailand. It's 32 shot rally, which is a long exchange. It's been the longest for a while here in this match. Rawinda doing all the work there. Oh, she's going
unlucky.
for the kill, but unfortunately she found the net there.
Rawinda did well to take pace out of her shots in that rally with her block and net shot. I think that's where the Thais are doing a bit better, using the net to their advantage to get the lift and create some errors from their opponents. Oh, beautiful cross-court smash. Jungle fan was not expecting that whatsoever. She was stepping in and was not ready.
Another good rally. Great net shot. Fantastic. Lovely play from Thailand there to set up match point 2013. Game point. Apologies. To set up game point 2013.
There, Jungle Fan just showing her beautiful touch and her soft hands at the net, taking the pace out. Again, Kira with the lovely commitment to the dive. But again, not coming off.
Well, here we go. 7 game points for Thailand.
Oh, incredible.
And that was a lovely way to end it. 21-13 to Thailand. Jongkopan Kititharakul, Ravinda Prajongjai drawing first blood in this match against Scotland. 21-13 in 17 minutes. Jill Macpherson, Kira Torrance did well to keep up with the 5 in that first game, but falling just short in the end there. But that lovely little backhand flick.
I think, like what we just saw, the Thais are kind of expecting that hard attack from the backcourt, and that hard attack from the Scots. So they're able to kind of come up with those cross-court drives and counters a bit premeditated. Whereas if the Scottish pair can provide a bit more variety using, you know, a bit of angles to the middle of the court, some stop drops and some, you know, punch clears, it'll keep the Thais guessing a little bit. And then, you know, if they were able to implement a little bit more variety around the net and that kind of thing, I think it would open up the court a bit so they could get through the Thai pair with their strong attack when the opportunity arises.
We've seen they've been really strong at the back of the court. They've got some powerful shots in their arsenal. So it's just now about coming forward and playing those more delicate net shots and mixing it up.
Yeah, I think adding that little bit more variety would benefit them, and yeah, still, you know, trying to minimise those errors that the Thai pair aren't making as much. But the Scottish pair doing a great job so far for their debut Uber Cup.
And so we're about to start this second game in this first women's doubles clash between Thailand and Scotland. Thailand winning the first game 21-13. And they will serve now to Scotland. They've changed sides. They're both going for it again.
Thailand managing to get out of that stitch they were in, where they were both pretty much standing in the one spot.
You heard one of them shout, saying, "Go, go, 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 go," and moving towards the back, expecting maybe a lift from Scotland, but it worked out in the end for them.
There it is. There's her little stop drop shot, Jungle Fan. She's caught many players off guard with it.
They seem to come off a racket very easily when she's playing with confidence.
Yeah, and she just has that touch where she can get it so tight, and the kind of stroke where it does look like the smash up until the last point.
That was great placement, right between the two players.
The Thai pair have done well, you know, targeting the tram lines in the first set, and now bringing the middle smash in as well, really making the Scottish pair have to guess where they're going to go.
The relief of winning that first game suddenly then makes it easier for you to then, you know, take those chances, play a little bit more freely in the second, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I think gives you a lot of confidence going into the second, and kind of knowing that your game plan is working and that you can kind of just keep playing the same way. You don't have to, you know, come up with solutions or figure out what's working, what's not as much.
Which probably Scotland will have to be doing at the moment.
Yes, definitely, with their 5-0 deficit right now. And that's what Thailand is just so good at, that quickness around the net. They're just so efficient, and it's really tricky for the Scottish pair to get out of at the moment.
That's out. Going just wide. 6-love now, Thailand. Looking super comfortable.
She was quick onto it, but not quick enough.
That's Pityaporn Chaiwan there.
She'll be needing to warm up soon.
She's enjoying the early games, the early matches, knowing she's got to go onto court quite soon. Oh, that was well smashed.
I mentioned earlier that the Thai pair lacked a bit of power, but it didn't look like it just then. Jongophan unleashed, and it really caught Kira off guard.
And she did it right at her, so she couldn't quite react as easily as well. You do feel that sometimes Jongophan and Ravinda are not necessarily on the same wavelength. Where, you know, you've seen a couple of times in this match as well, they've gone for the same shot, they've, you know, tried to sort of move in the same direction. You just feel like they're missing a little bit there. I mean, that's just, I'm nitpicking, but, you know, you just feel like they could be a little bit more fluid among themselves.
Yeah, I think they both they kind of play a lot of hard flat stuff, and then they kind of worry about covering afterwards. They don't always hit with the intent of a certain shot. Sometimes it's just hitting and preparing for the next one, a little bit haphazard. But when they get into a flow, it is good to watch, and things like that where they set it up well for the front person, that's when they really flourish on court. Oh, incredible!
Oh, that was beautiful. What a shot from Jongophan Kititharakul. Lovely movement. Fantastic reaction. Just look at that. That is pure reflex. It feels like that is just instinct coming out in full display.
Yeah, impressive technique there. Her body nearly fully turned away, being able to hit that backhand cross-court block that the Scottish pair were not expecting whatsoever. Right
good.
back at ya.
That is good placement from Scotland as well. Anything you can do, I can do better.
Yeah. Cross-court surprises everywhere here.
They are moving them around well, but that was well out from Thailand, but they were doing well to move them around.
The Thai pair kind of have the freedom here to kind of pick two different styles they want to play, whether they want to rally and make the court big for the Scottish pair, which then gives them the opportunity to come in and counter, or they are still coming off better in like the hard, flat box game as well.
That is really well played from Scotland. And suddenly, it's just a 4-point game. Torrance doing really well there to stay in that exchange and then find the line.
So it would have been nice there to see Rawinda take the pace out of it and use that block instead of hitting right back to Kira, who was just waiting to whip it cross-court. And it's gone over.
That was lucky, and so Thailand 10-5 up. Oh, another fantastic shot from Scotland. Aggressive play at the net. Going for the kill shot there.
Nicely done, adding the pressure, and then both girls pushing up at the net.
That is what they needed to do, as you mentioned, come up more at the net.
Cheeky drive serve there. With the new service rule, we are seeing drive serves be used a little bit more often.
Good rally.
Finding the line there.
This is a really good comeback from Scotland. They've won 3 points on the trot.
I think Rwanda might have thought that was going out.
34 shots in that rally. But a good exchange between the two pairs. Oh, beautiful deceptive shot from Jongkolpan Kititharakul. Again, catching Scotland off guard. 11-8. Thailand have made it to the break with the lead. It's a 3-point lead. They were really happy with that point. And breathing a sigh of relief at the end of it. Just lovely deception from Kititharakul there.
Scotland have done well to really step it up those last few points. I think that they're playing the right game style now and have really promising pair to look forward to getting into tournaments into the future, I reckon. I'm sure I've talked to Kirsty Gilmore a little bit, and she's really excited about the next generation of players coming through and getting to that high level in the ranking so that she has some friends on tour travelling with her, because it is quite lonely when you're from a small country, especially as a singles player doing it all on your own. And there are even the boys from the Scottish team, they're all coming through in the ranks. So I think this pair will be accompanying her soon on the Super Series and, you know, World Tour.
Well, they've certainly had a good showing in this match. And it's 11-8 to the Thais as they serve it at the restart.
Nice crossbody smash there. Catching Jongkolpan off guard.
Again, a little bit of aggression from Scotland, and that just proves to be the difference. When they get a little bit more power, a little bit more aggressive in their game, shakes the Thais up a little bit, and it's just a 1-point game now.
So now the Thai pair will be having to really tune in their focus and make sure they've got it switched on leading up to the end of this game.
They're playing really well, the Scottish pair.
11-12.
That mid-game break seems to have done them some good. good rally. She had the right plan in her mind. Unfortunately, it found the net. That smash.
Thailand did well, really working Kira around the back of the court, then making her run side to side, come into the mid-court.
Again, really well played. This time Thailand, of course, doing the damage.
Nice shot by Rawinda. And it's Kira there who shouldn't have stepped backwards. So because Julie played that shot down and flat, Kira should have stayed forward so that Julie was covering the backcourt. But when somebody's running up to the net like that, it's very tempting to backstep, as Kira did.
That is just nice. She's just made it. There is a challenge though by Scotland here, but that looked well in. And it was really nicely placed, in fact, by Jungkopan. She just found the line there.
Or did she?
Oh no!
You spoke
There
too
you go, I
soon.
spoke too soon. So Scotland knew what they were doing. It definitely looked in on the actual point, but well done. That was a good challenge by Scotland. Someone saw that. You see the reaction there, and that led to the challenge. Oh, again, caught out in the front of the court.
It was a nice block by Julie, and then they both just kind of... Oh, okay, so she dropped her racket. That's why they were laughing.
She did well after that, then, to try and make the shot. That was really well done by Kira.
Maybe the heaters are up a little bit too high. Her hands sweating, so she
Sweaty
drops her racket.
hands.
Yeah. There's this funny rally from this Malaysian player, Kauai, where she dropped her racket and then she kept playing without a racket and hit it with her hand. Oh, it cracks me up every time.
Oh, that must have been so much harder.
Yeah. But she just kept, being in the rally as if she had a racket and, waiting for the shuttle to come, but she couldn't do anything regardless.
If nothing else, to throw her opponent off.
Yeah. Her opponent's like, do I hit to her? She looks pretty ready, but I'm pretty sure I can't see a racket there.
16-12 now to Thailand. They've opened up a 4-point gap here.
Nice overplay by Julie, getting it to Rawinda's backhand, but able to get out of it. Oh, still going. Oh, touches the net. Great rally.
Oh, that was really well played by Thailand there. Just making them run around.
That extra level of skill that you can see from Jungle Fan on that final shot that she played. Just being able to whip it cross court. Very unexpected for the Scottish pair there.
17-12 now. It's a 5-point lead, and these are the crucial points that make all the difference, especially in the second game, because you're so close to just wrapping it up. Thailand will want to stay calm in this one. 33 shots that rally. in the end. Thailand coming on top of that.
Drive serve.
Service over. 13-17.
Do you think the fact that, you know, Jongkopan and Rawinder haven't played the Scottish pair too much will make a difference at all in their preparation and the way they play them, or how they play out the match even?
Oh, that was an impeccable shot. Sorry, back to your question. You just prepare as best as you can. You know, they might have studied each of the players individually, or, you know, found a YouTube video. But I think they would just kind of go into it, feeling it out in the first 11 points, figuring out what's working, what's not, but also having the confidence that they are, you know, the higher ranked pair. They should have the experience and the skills to be able to handle what the Scottish pair bring. And, you know, pairs that do have that experience, they know that they have the adaptability to kind of handle what is thrown at them.
Good defending. And that led eventually to the error from Scotland. It was just pure defending from Thailand, keeping the shuttle in play.
Working the backcourt player around the court.
And it's 19-14. Sometimes it helps to keep it simple. Oh, beautiful. Just a little jump. And then the kill shot means it's 20-14. It's match point for Thailand. They've got 6 match points to close this one off. It has been some good playing from the Thai pair. Jongkopan to serve.
Another little sneaky flick or drive serve from Jongkopan.
That's a good rally. Oh.
Good power from Kira there. The placement catching Rawinder off guard.
They have certainly put on a good show here, Scotland. They've really done well, Julie Macpherson and Kira Torrance. Again, another error from Rawinder this time. This, you know, the urge to try and finish this match now probably getting the better of them. And that was well out.
17-20.
Let's save 2 match points. Scotland. 3 more to go. Can they do something here?
At this point, the Thai pair would be getting a little bit nervous.
This is where experience counts.
Oh,
That looked like, yeah, that looked like it was going out.
Julie played it.
Oh, great shot. Oh, unfortunately. Right at the end, just falling short. Jongkopan Kititharakul and Rawinder Prajongjai seal the match 21-13, 21-17. That was a straight games win for the Thai, but it was not a straightforward performance. Scotland really putting up a good fight, especially in that second game. They seem to have come into their own. They'll be happy with how they've done here today.
Yeah, I think so. I think they showed some really promising, skills and what they have that they have a lot to develop on. And I think those girls from the Scottish pair have a lot to, continue working on and bring to their future tournaments. I reckon they'll be climbing the women's doubles world ranking in no time.
So this means that Thailand are 2-0 up in this Group B tie against Scotland, having won the first women's singles and now the first of the women's doubles. And just a re-look at the match point there, Scotland doing really well right till the end when a mistake from Julie Macpherson at the net handed Thailand the match. So
got a little bit eager there. Big swing. She just wanted that next point.
Confirmation of the score then. Thailand, Kititharakul, Prajongjai winning 21-13, 21-17 in about 42 minutes. Next up, it is women's singles again, the second of them, Busanan Ongbang Rumpan against Rachel Sutton. This is the Sarah's Arena that we're coming to you live from in Aarhus, Denmark. It's the TotalEnergies BWF Thomas and Uber Cups in action at the Sarah's Arena, which is the indoor facility here at the Aarhus Sports Park and hosts a whole lot of events. Right now though, it's hosting the badminton. It is a